It's your name, and like I let you know, Steve. When I called you, I would have rather not called you, I mean. I was humiliated. I was harmed. What I truly do see, however, see this prison discussion you had was last year, in October 2022. So Steve Harvey has gone all on a mission to get down on Shirley Strawberry for a few quite cruel remarks she made about him and his significant other Marjorie. Any reasonable person would agree Shirley may be in some major trouble at her specific employment. After this, you see Steve and Marjorie had been managing a difficult situation in their relationship of late, and Shirley's comments didn't help them. Things got so warmed that Marjorie even took to virtual entertainment to rake Shirley over the coals. It seems like Steve may be concocting some retribution, and Shirley better keep an eye out. And assuming you've thought you'd heard the remainder of the Steve Harvey and Marjorie show, reconsider on the grounds that things just took a surprising turn. So what precisely did Shirley spill about Steve and Marjorie? And did Shirley simply let the cat out of the bag on Marjorie's not-so-decent, passed-on clutch-your-caps people, since this disclosure will knock your socks off those that he has so presently? With all that is happening around us right now, what I truly do see, however, see this prison discussion you had on the off chance that you haven't found all the new dramatization. Here's the scoop: Steve's companion and worker Shirley Strawberry, as of late, ended up amidst contention. She offered a few remarks about Steve and Marjorie that appeared to affirm a portion of the reports drifting around about Marjorie's not really cordial side. Yet what adds an additional layer of interest to this present circumstance is that Shirley got herself presented while attempting to shield her better half, Ernesto Williams. Now, assuming you missed the show encompassing Shirley, let me fill you. And she's been in very much a wreck for the recent months, all since her better half had to deal with a few pretty serious penalties. Last year, these charges were quite serious, going from misrepresentation to considerably additional upsetting ones like ownership of kid porn. Shirley confronted weighty analysis via web-based entertainment, particularly since it gave the idea that she was remaining by her significant other. Experienced good and bad. Ernesto's charges were extreme to the point that they caused a stir wherever. Yet, here's where it gets wild: Shirley showed her help, as well as sources even uncovered that she begged Ernesto to escape the country with her arrangement to hang out at Steve's home in Dubai. You can envision the kickback Steve got for purportedly helping a criminal of inequity. This entire circumstance is one hopeless train wreck. And it's not finished at this point. So what precisely did Shirley say regarding Steve and Marjorie? Keep things under control, since this disclosure is going to take a stunning transform. What is going on experienced a plunge into a significantly more chaotic area for both Steve and Shirley. Prepare yourself, since supposing that you thought things were terrible, they just got a ton more awful. Spilled tapes and sound have surfaced where Shirley is trapped in discussion with her better half in jail. And we should say it's anything but a decent look. We should backtrack a piece. When Ernesto originally confronted arrest last year, Dave liberally opened his home to Shirley, offering her a spot to remain since her everyday environment was wrecked. Her vehicle was seized and things were tumultuous. Now, here's where it gets unpredictable. Shirley had a considerable amount to tell Ernesto about her new residing game plan at Steve's place. Yet what compels this wreck significantly more chaotic is the planning of this release. It's extraordinarily lamentable for both Steve and Marjorie. Assuming you've been following the Harvey family show, you may know about the bits of gossip about Marjorie supposedly going behind Steve's back with his protector. There's likewise talk among fans proposing that Marjorie may be in the relationship for monetary profit, painting her with a fairly obscure brush. Individuals estimate that she gives orders in the family and controls all that. Currently, Shirley's spilled sound recording appears to fuel these hypotheses. So what precisely did Shirley spill about Steve and Marjorie that got everybody provoked up? Well, despite the fact that Steve generous permitted Shirley to remain with him and Marjorie, Shirley didn't precisely offer thanks for the assist in the spilled call with Ernesto. She with night made fun of Steve for being flabby, guaranteeing that he was gasping after climbing a stairway that's right it's gotten that muddled ridiculing somebody who gave cover in frantic times is in a nutshell lovely frightful business. It certainly didn't stop at that. She had a couple of words to say about Marjorie to Shirley, claimed that Marjorie effectively abstained from finding her, giving her the unmistakable impression that Marjorie didn't precisely invite her to remain. Yet there's more. Shirley asserted that when she did ultimately experience Marjorie, she was treated as though she was essential for the family staff. That's right, any reasonable person would agree that this disclosure has taken the show to an unheard of level, going up the steps at your home and Marjorie views at us. As the assistants, Shirley depicted Marjorie as a spoiled and grandiose housewife who saw Shirley with scorn and mistreated her. As I referenced, Marjorie was at that point confronting allegations of being horrible, so Shirley's affirmation just exacerbated the situation. Obviously, this prompted Marjorie confronting considerably more analysis, and the circumstance raised to where Steve felt a sense of urgency to address it on his show. The Steve Harvey Show. It was clear that Steve has a profound fondness for Marjorie, and he doesn't avoid communicating it in a new episode of the show. Steve and Shirley at last handled every one of the questionable subjects and show that had been flowing in their lives, putting any misinformation to rest. Shirley started by examining what is happening with Ernesto, and it appears to be it's not quite so desperate as at first suspected. She uncovered that she's done remaining close by those letters she kept in touch with the appointed authority were written last year when she knew nothing about the full degree of Ernesto's violations, which basically elaborate extortion at the time. That is the reason she was steadfast about supporting him. Yet at this point that she's mindful of the real essence of his activities, she's petitioned for legal separation and is cutting vines with him. A few fans have brought up the incongruity in Shirley, who is known for giving relationship exhortation to different ladies, ending up experiencing the same thing. Luckily, it appears she has come to her sense and is putting forth a savvy choice anyway. Her attempts didn't stop there. She at last addressed her remarks about Marjorie. Shirley didn't endeavor to deny her words. Some calls from last year among her and Ernesto were released, and on those calls she offered expressions like "you are short of breath going up the steps at your home and Marjorie views at us." As the assistants, she openly apologized to both Steve and Marjorie for what she said. She recognized that she was unable to take her words back and communicated regret. She explained that her expectation wasn't to add to the difficulties Steve and Marjorie were at that point looking in their lives. And on the spot, I need to apologize to you and Marjorie for what I expressed, however much I wish I could, I can't take it back. I said it. And anyway, a few fans accept that Shirley's conciliatory sentiment was provoked more by getting found out than by certifiable regret. They estimate that she could in any case believe that Marjorie abused her, yet needed to apologize on the grounds that Steve is her chief and wouldn't endure such conduct. Furthermore, a few fans felt that Shirley didn't completely assume a sense of ownership with her activities, and she part of the way faulted web journals and fans for enhancing the story by the arrival of those sound tapes, made her conciliatory sentiment essential. Steve at long last had the chance to voice his considerations, and as many expected, he was apparently enraged with Shirley. This response shouldn't come as a shock in light of the fact that Steve holds a profound and unflinching dedication to his dearest spouse Marjorie. When anybody censures or criticizes her, he treats it very in a serious way and feels a sense of urgency to defend her distinction in this occurrence. Shirley's remarks didn't simply compound a generally confounded circumstance. They likewise set off a significant flood of analysis. Coordinated at her, Steve's live reaction was a demonstration of his assurance to safeguard Marjorie's standing and defy the discussion head-on. So this take that was made in October 2022 gets delivered right behind. All it is to heap on some more. And I suppose you say you realize it was recorded on the grounds that you know, when you everyone get that call who ain't had that call, many individuals at first felt that Steve could terminate Shirley for deceiving his trust, particularly since he openly scrutinized her. While things have been extraordinary between them, insiders uncover that Shirley actually has her occupation, with Steve essentially for the present. Conclusions with regards to this issue are partitioned. Some accept that what Shirley said was harmful, yet that's what others feel, assuming Marjorie caused her to feel like the assist that is her viewpoint. Some with valuing that Steve showed reliability to his representative and permitted her to address what is going on openly, as another